Hey guys, it's me, I'm here, and I'm back with another video for you guys today. And today we are doing episode 3 of Sakura Angels, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hey Siri, start the timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
I drop onto my bed, face first, the mattress giving out a groan. I can't be any later than 9 p.m. and already I want to sleep. Is every day going to be like this from here on out? I hope not. While I could just as easily fall asleep in the current position I'm in, there's probably a good risk I might suffocate. So I guess I might as well do things the proper way if I have to. Ugh. I push up off of the bed and go to close the curtains. Huh? Maybe I already fell asleep. As I went to close the curtains, my eyes are drawn to an amber glow down in my garden. A fire? A campfire, to be precise. I'll give you 3 guesses as to who that campfire belongs to. Yep, the 2 magical girls. Sayaka and Hikari seem to have taken it upon themselves to set up a little base camp in my back garden, complete with a tent and fire. I guess when they said they'd be close by, they really meant close by. I think they're trying to cook something, going by the pan over the fire. I didn't realize their lives were so rough. How glamorous they generally look. Oh, they saw me. Sayaka gives an enthusiastic wave my way, taking her eyes off the pan. Yeah, okay, hi. I give a feeble wave back. Somehow I get the feeling I should be worrying about this far more than I am. But, whatever. This can wait until tomorrow. I draw the curtain shut right as whatever Sayaka was cooking in the pan ignites into a tremendous fire. I can just about hear Hikari's cry of terror through the window panes. Laying out one final mighty yawn, I flop backwards onto my bed, and it's not long before whatever semblance of consciousness I might have had left drifts into the night. Streams of light filter in from the curtains, rousing me out of sleep that I wanted to last forever. Ugh. I have half a mind to just turn over and wrap myself tighter in my blanket, but I guess I have enough to worry about right now without adding being late to school on top of everything else. Let's tackle the day, I guess. I roll out from under the covers and crash to the floor with the grace of a sloth. Ow. On top of everything else still aching from yesterday, my head thumps once more, right on schedule. I really wish it would cut me a break. Just this one time. Starting from a crawl along the floor and gradually pulling myself up into a walk as if I was evolving in real time, I tugged the curtains open. Huh? I looked down at the garden to find it completely empty. Not a trace of a fire, the tent, or the girls. Maybe I really was dreaming last night. I mean, they couldn't really be as stupid as to camp in plain sight like that. The fire alone would be enough for the police to be brought down. That's one less thing for me to stress about at least. Thank God. Right. I better not waste any more time, or I'm going to miss my chance to have a proper breakfast like yesterday. Pawing at pawing at the dust around my eyes, I start for the bathroom. A nice hot shower should do wonders. I pull open the door to the bathroom and oh my God. What? What? The bathroom is occupied. Mm-hmm. Yes. What? What the heck are you gawking at? Close the door! Sorry, my bad. I slammed the door back shut, my heart an erratic mess. That was a close one. Wait a second. Something isn't adding up here. I swing open the door again, the sight taking away my breath once more, even though I already knew what to expect. Ah! What are you doing now? You pervert! I knew it. It is Hikari! And, rather underdressed Hikari at that. She's cut like a deer frozen in headlights, her entire body tensing up in a near oh, statuesque pose. hmm She's down to her rather extravagant underwear, if you don't count the socks she was in the process of taking off. Huh, they match and everything. With how she's bent forwards like this, my eyes can't help but gravitate to her rather ample Kenta. Huh? Huh? I snapped out of whatever daze I might have been in by her shrill tone. What? What was I doing again? What are you doing? Shut the door already! Wait. Wait. Shouldn't I be asking what you're doing in my house? What does it look like, genius? Now go away! Her face is beet red. She's practically trembling with anger, though still frozen in place. I wouldn't say she's angry. She's a tsundere. She's actually very excited that you're seeing her. I know how they work, kind of. But how am I the one at fault here? Hey now, don't get mad at me. I don't remember ever giving you guys permission to freely use my house. Especially not the shower. Close the door. Not until you close the door. Okay, but can you just, her eyes give off a dangerous glow, the room rumbling ever so slightly with a frightening power. I guess this can wait until afterwards. If I want to keep my house intact, at least. Okay. My bad. Really? Flashing an apologetic smile and laughing nervously, I bring the door to a close once more. As demonstrated last night, sometimes retreating is the best course of action. Well, after that little situation, I find myself downstairs, both of the girls present. Sayaka has the same cheerful grin as ever, while Hikari looks like she wants to grab the nearest sharp object she can find and gut me with it. Again, that wasn't my fault. How was I supposed to know? So, do you guys want to explain yourselves? Hmm? She tilts her head, giving me a confused look. Oh, come on! How can I be the only one to find something strange with this? Well, I mean, what are you guys doing in my house? Using my things, even? Oh, that's simple. Since we've been watching over you for a while now, we noticed that your parents always seem to leave really early in the morning, and that you're the only other one that lives here. So we figured it'd be fine if we just, let ourselves in to borrow the shower and stuff. So you pretty much just broke into my house. That's a bit of an extreme way to put it. We made sure to fix the window. You did what? I quickly throw a glance about looking for any windows in sight. No trace of a break-in at least. Jeez, what did they do? Throw a brick through one? I thought people who knew magic would be more subtle. See? It's all good. She tries her best to reassure me with her limitless optimism, her hands on her hips with a blinding smile. I can't say I mirror her enthusiasm though. I bring a palm to my forehead, a headache beginning to set in. And for once, I know the cause of this one. Is this really necessary? Can't you guys like magic yourselves clean or whatever? I get cold stares from both of them. I said the wrong thing again, didn't I? Kenta, our magic isn't just some convenient tool we can use so carelessly in our everyday lives. Hikari finally speaks up again, having got over her mini sulk. It takes a lot of energy just to even do something as simple as fly. And we always need to make sure we have energy in reserve in case of a surprise attack like last night. Do you really think it'd be a smart idea to waste that precious energy on something that could be done so easily with an actual shower? Fair point. But what I'm getting out of this is, so what you're saying is you could use magic yourselves. You could ah, you could magic yourselves clean. Her eyes narrow. She takes in a deep breath, her cheeks puffing out dangerously. Why do I suddenly fear for my ears? You're an idiot. She sighs instead, the air escaping in her the the air escaping her in one long drawn out breath of defeat. My eardrums are safe for another day. Phew. I catch a glance at the clock on the wall. All this drama has really eaten into my free time before school. If I don't start breakfast now, there will be no way I'll make it in time. You guys do whatever. Then I'm going to make some food. I start for the kitchen, but Sayaka cuts me off, sliding in front of me. Her eyes are almost sparkling as she leans forward. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Let us make breakfast instead. Consider consider it our way of saying sorry for this little mess. Right, Hikari? She pulls Hikari in by the arm. What? I didn't agree to. Right, Hikari? She tightens her grip on Hikari's arm, a deadly edge behind her otherwise cheerful words. Ow! Okay. Hmm. Letting them cook. I'm not so sure. Ugh. Well, didn't they set a fire to their food freaking last night? Absolutely freaking not. As if receiving a fiery premonition of what might happen if I do let them cook, I put my foot down without hesitation. Even if I'm not the greatest cook in the world, at least I can be safe in the knowledge that what I make won't bring about the ruination of everything I know and love. Most of the time anyways. Aw, are you sure? Very. I appreciate the thought, at least. She puffs her cheeks out in a rather adorable pout, but it doesn't last long before her usual bright smile returns. Okay, you really don't know what you're missing out on, though. I've been told my cooking really is something by people before. Sayaka, I don't think they meant. In fact, they said I should never cook again because of how delicious it made other people feel. What the fuck? Can you believe it? Yeah, I definitely ha I'm definitely happy with my decision now. I feel like I dodged a bullet. A horrible tasting one that might have burned my insides. I head for the kitchen to make the simplest meal I know, all the while keeping a watchful eye over my shoulder in case either of them attempt to assist me, which I can totally see in Sayaka's eyes as she fidgets just by counter? Fidgets just by the counter. I'm on to you. Breakfast soon comes to a close, with perhaps a more lively start to the morning than I'm generally used to. As much of a headache as they can be, it was actually sort of nice to not be completely alone in the morning. I wasn't about to tell them that though, or I'd only encourage their almost criminal behavior and just waltzing into my house like that. I head out for school, my two bodyguards naturally at my side. I'm almost sort of getting used to this. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. The journey to school goes by peacefully. Not a monster in sight. Though I can't help but shake the feeling that something is watching me. Maybe I'm just getting a little paranoid after, you know, two attempts on my life have been made already. I'm sure it's all in my head. I arrive at school with time to spare. Huh, that's a verse. Sayaka and Hikari keep close to my side. So very close. I practically feel the stares of my classmates, their looks ranging from resentful to jealous. I can't imagine what they must think of this whole situation. Hey, look, guys. Hmm? What's up? Do you really have to stay so close to me? I appreciate what you're doing and all, but I think I'll be fine in school. Well, what if, as long as uh, you're you're at least close by, like, come on, dude. I should be fine, right? And I think it'd be hard for a monster to get this close to me in a class without at least having caused some sort of commotion beforehand. Hikari falls silent. She narrows her eyes into a glare and folds her arms together, tossing her head to the side. Fine, whatever. She storms over to her desk and drops into the chair, her eyes straight forward, leaving me and Sayaka together. Uh, did I upset her? Don't worry. She's always like this. Give it time and she'll be back to her, less grumpier self. She only has your safety in mind and is just worried about what might happen if she has to leave you. Heck, if I had it my way, we wouldn't even let you go to school. We'd just keep you locked up in a nice room until this all blows over. I don't think she realizes how scary that sounded, coupled with her usual grin. You're right, though. Maybe we have been suffocating you a bit too much. I think we can afford to at least ease up during school. Thank you. I let out a sigh. They are finally starting to listen to reason, if only a little. The bell sounds, signifying the start of class. I pass by a disgruntled old Hikari on the way to my own desk. She doesn't even look my way. Harsh. The morning classes pass by in the blink of an eye, the lunch break soon arriving. I stand up and let out a yawn, only to find I'm not alone. Come on, guys. We talked about this. As if the conversation this morning had never happened, I find both my guardians standing around me, oblivious to my irritation. What's up, Kenta? Aren't we going to get lunch now? I'm going to go get my own lunch. You guys don't need to be glued to my side. Go do your own things or whatever. But what are we supposed to? I don't know. Something. Anything. I feel like you two have been pretty much attached to me since I first met you yesterday. Some breathing room would be nice. I really am grateful that they're here. Otherwise, I might have met a grizzly end yesterday. But this is borderline stalking. I'm not even going to bring up how they camped outside and then proceeded to break into my house. Oh, okay then. I gotcha. Hikari understands too, I think. Hmm. Come on, Hikari. It might be fun to explore the school a bit and see what it has to offer. We've never really had the chance to attend one before, after all. She's never been to a school. Just where do these two come from? The more I talk to her, the more she makes herself sound like an alien. Alright then, Kenta. We'll go do our own thing for a bit. Just yell if you need us, and try not to die. And like that, she marches off, humming a happy tune. Hikari follows in her wake, but not before giving me one last icy look. I can almost feel my shoulders begin to frost. Brr. Well, I did it. I somehow convinced them to give me some space, some peace, for the time being anyway. But now what? First and foremost, I should probably try not to forget about lunch again. Otherwise, I might just keel over and have finished the job for whatever dark forces that are lurking out there. I head to the cafeteria. The cafeteria is as you would expect during lunchtime, completely packed. Throngs of students take up what little walking space might have existed between the tables, equally as populated. I stand my ground and gradually work my way past the crashing waves of students that impede my path. Of course, getting food would never be so simple. Eventually, I work my way to the front of the line and approach the counter. Naturally, after all the students before me, there was very little in the way of choice. I guess it's either this sandwich or this other sandwich, neither of which seems amazingly appetizing. Whatever. Anything will do after how much food I've missed out on. Cheap, bland sandwich in hand. I give a look over the tables. Like before, they're all pretty packed. Though I do see one fairly empty table at the far end, with a familiar someone happily digging away at their lunch. Even from this distance, I can tell it's Sayaka. Her vibrant brown hair instantly distinguishable from everyone else's. I don't see Hikari anywhere in sight. They must have decided to do their own things for the break. I guess if I want to sit down here to eat, Sayaka's table is the only choice. But do I really want to eat here? It's so noisy I can hardly even think. She hasn't noticed me either, completely absorbed in the demolition of her food. Maybe I can slip away to the roof, where no doubt it'll be more peaceful. Let us see. If I remember correctly, well, this is our own story, so I don't know. Do do do. I don't know. Hmm. I guess I can head to the roof. The roof it is. It's just too noisy here. And I get the feeling sitting with Sayaka will only make things worse. I sneak past her and head for the stairwell. Though it wasn't exactly difficult with how into her food she was. The higher I scale the stairs, the more quiet my surroundings became become. Until I until eventually the bustling racket of the students softens to a dull mumble below. Ah, peace at last. I emerge out onto the rooftop. A gentle breeze graces my face as the sun shines high in a near cloudless sky. It's perfect out here. Only, it seems I wasn't the only one that had decided to come up here. Hikari stands at the edge of the rooftop, facing outwards as she peers down at the countless people. Given how intently she seems to be analyzing them, I can only guess that she is keeping guard. I have to admire her dedication towards this whole thing. I actually do feel pretty safe knowing she's this serious about it all. She's so absorbed in what she's doing, I don't think she's even noticed me yet. Making no real effort to conceal myself, I close up right behind her. Still nothing. She's miles away. I reach out and give a gentle tap on her shoulder. Yo. What? She jumps a good several feet into the air at my touch and lets out an ear-piercing scream. Uh, a bit of an overreaction, maybe? Or am I just that scary? I hand to her chest as if to keep her heart from breaking free. She spins around to face me. Her stern expression softens a little as she realizes it's me, but only a little. She still seems pretty mad. Oh, Kenta, it's just you. Don't scare me like that. You're lucky I didn't frazzle you on the spot. I scrubbed the back of my head with a grin. I really did spook her. My bad. But you seemed miles away. Keeping guard? Huh? Her eyes flickered back to where she was watching for a moment. Yes. Even though the school itself has been peaceful so far, you never know when the enemy might strike. Thanks. I appreciate it. It's no problem. I'm doing it for the safety of the entire school, not just you. Her face goes an interesting shade of pink. It doesn't take much to fluster her, huh? Right, right. I get it. Because while Sayaka and I have the decency to at least conceal our powers in front of normal people, I can't say the shadows will do the same. It's already bad enough they try to attack you in broad daylight. I just don't get it at all. It goes against everything we know about them. She sighs dramatically and turns to resume watch over the school. I open my mouth to say something to her, but a low, rumbling sound cuts me short. Hikari? Yes? She answers without turning around, her ears clearly burning. It wasn't difficult to discern what the sound was, given that I saw no sign of any lunch out here at all. Have you, not had lunch yet? Silence. I think I hit the nail on the head. It's not my fault. That cafeteria is so noisy and filthy that I couldn't stand another minute in it. I don't know how Sayaka can willingly eat down there. I have more important things to do anyway. Are you really going to be able to fight on an empty stomach? Of course. What do you think? Her stomach growls again, arguing against her words. Uh, okay, I might be a little hungry, but I'm not going back down into that cesspit. Yeesh. I know that place can be pretty packed sometimes, but she's making it out to be something far worse. She really can't deal with crowds, I guess. I unwrap the sandwich I had almost forgotten about and take a bite out of it, not wanting to forget about lunch completely myself. Hikari watches me intently as I take several more bites, her eyes flickering to the sandwich every now and again. I can practically see the hunger in her eyes. I stop mid-bite and offer the sandwich her way, since I'm beginning to feel terrible for eating in front of her. And I think if I don't, she might just snatch it out of my hands at any moment anyway. Do you, want some? I can split it if you want. Her mouth hangs open and her brow furrows in concentration, as if to seriously consider it. I swear, she's almost drooling at this point. She comes to her decision with an abrupt humph and turns her head to the side, her hair whipping along with it. I should have expected that. Don't be ridiculous. Why would I want something you've already slobbered all over? I'd rather starve than. Grr. Her stomach beckons for the food. Okay, fine. Maybe a little. I break off half before she snatches it away with reluctance. Thank you, I suppose. I don't think she's used to saying something like that. We're finally making progress. I can't help but smile. Wipe that disgusting grin off of your face. I don't know what you're thinking about, but I'm sure it's something indecent, she says with a snarl before she violently rips a chunk of the sandwich away with her teeth. Good? It's okay. Not the best I've had, but certainly not the worst. Why, back at the academy, She stops herself, her eyes widening some. I think she almost let slip something there. I really wish they weren't so secretive about all this stuff. The academy, huh? It's nothing, but I'm pretty sure I heard. You heard nothing! Yikes. Despite her small frame, whenever she uses that commanding voice of hers, I feel about the size of a mouse before her. I guess it's no use in pushing her for more information, unless I want to end up like that monster from before. Okay, okay. I didn't hear anything. It it must have been the wind or something. She sighs as she gives her hair a toss, the anger leaving her as suddenly as it had built. We're not withholding information, just to be all mysterious, you know. Could have fooled me. It's just easier this way. There's no point dragging you into this mess if we can help it. It's not a life I'd wish on anyone. Her expression darkens, yet her mouth still works. The majority of her half of the sandwich is already gone. I'm not even sure if she realizes she's eating it at the moment. She spends a good moment or two debating something in her head, before she finally looks up at me with serious eyes. Kenta, what would you do if you were... A group of Chinese students emerge out onto the roof from the stairs, lunches in hand. Hikari clamps up at the sight of them and turns back to her guard post. Never mind. It isn't important. If you say so. It sure looked important. Since I don't think I've ever seen her give me that serious a look before. Just my luck that all of the times people would choose to eat here, it would have to be now. Any semblance of a conversation we may have had before is well and truly dashed now. She seems a lot more reserved in the presence of other people. Plus, I guess what we were discussing wasn't exactly appropriate for their ears. The sandwich really was nice, by the way. Huh? I didn't catch that. Nothing. The lunch break soon comes to an end, and we're whisked back to class. The rest of the school day goes by fairly normally. No crazy attacks. No monsters. I still can't shake the feeling something is watching me, though. Another day down, another walk home. My two guardians by my side. It seemed notably more tense compared to last night. After how close that fight was, I really don't blame them. We were lucky she didn't pursue us back then, or that could have been it for me. No, it would have spelled the end for everyone. The journey back is silent, both girls' faces mirroring each other in a look of sheer determination. They seem ready to spring to action at the slightest sign of danger, so I don't want to break their concentration with mindless small talk. Gradually, the sun sets on our route ahead, street lights flickering to life overhead one by one. Great. The more the shadows begin to creep in all around us, the more tense I can feel myself become. I come to a stop. Something doesn't feel right. Kenta? What's wrong? There it is again. That damned headache out of nowhere. Wait, hasn't there always been a pattern with these headaches? They don't usually happen during the day, unless... Ah, right on time. You really do make this easy, you know. Of course. We walked right into it. I really need to start to find a new route home. A sultry laugh drifts from out of the darkness, causing both the girls to assume offensive positions. It could only be one person. Obsidian wings unfurl from amidst the night sky, and the amber-eyed adversary from before makes her presence known in a storm of black feathers. What was her name? Yuzuki? I guess it doesn't matter. Names mean nothing right now. She has a maniacal look in her eye, a killer glint. Much like before, she isn't here to play around. There's only one thing she's after. Me. Light floods in a dispel of the darkness, for only a moment as the pair don their battle gear, weapons at hand. Kenta, get back! Right, right. I know how this works, okay? Not needing to be told twice, I sprint a good distance from the three girls, as not to get caught up in any crossfire. But are they going to be able to win? Yuzuki hardly broke a sweat last night, and was able to keep both of them at bay at once with that scythe of hers. The difference in their power was just too much. Not to mention, my guardians have some serious issues with working together as a team. Last night was a complete disaster. I fear we might have to take another tactical retreat, and I'm not sure if I have the stomach for it. Yuzuki lands gracefully before Sayaka and Hikari, and an unsettling grin spreading from ear to ear on her face. I've got to say, I'm surprised you even want to fight. I thought you might just turn tail again. I suppose things are more fun this way. Her dark wings erupt into a stream of feathers, which reform into a deadly scythe within her hands. Now, which one of you wants to die a miserable death first? Hikari, now! Hikari nods and lunges for Yuzuki before she can make the first move. Sayaka kicks off from the ground and flies a good deal backwards as she raises an arrow and her bow. Am I witnessing team play here? It certainly makes a change after last night's disaster. It's all useless. Yuzuki reacts like lightning and brings her scythe to a whirl, clashing with Hikari's sword. A shockwave bursts through the street as the two weapons collide, shattering nearby glass and warping street signs. A testament to just how strong these girls are. I'm beginning to see shades of last night's fight. Yuzuki has the advantage in terms of brute strength, so she'll no doubt push back against Hikari's blade. But Hikari doesn't seem nervous at all. In fact, she seems confident. Light, come for. I don't even know. Hikari stands her ground in the clash with gritted teeth, and her sword gives off a vibrant glow at her command. A glow that continues to intensify until it engulfs the clashing pair in a blinding light. I'm forced to shield my eyes with my arm, as if I were staring at the sun itself. It was bad enough for me at this distance. I can't imagine how bad it must have been for both of them. From the safety of my sleeve, I peer back out at the battle, the light fading slightly. It seems Suzuki wasn't expecting that at all, as she's reeling back from it all, and a hand to her face. Uh, uh, what do you think you're playing at? And Hikari, duck! Sayaka lets loose the arrow she'd been charging since the pair had clashed. It rockets off with unreal speed, leaving a trail of glimmering sparks in its wake as it homes in on Yuzuki. Hikari pulls back at Sayaka's voice and ducks to just barely avoid the arrow coming her way. It's a direct hit. The arrow bursts on impact and sends Yuzuki skating backwards as she desperately tries to keep upright. It doesn't end there though. Hikari hops to her feet and charges in for a follow-up attack, while Yuzuki is trying her best to recover from the arrow. The steel sings as Hikari kicks off the ground and goes for a crushing blow to the head. This should be it. I can't see how she'll escape from Hikari's blade now. It's over! The ground under my feet gives off a quake as she lands. A good half of the road splits under her blade, and chunks of concrete rain everywhere. It was a devastating attack, to be sure. Surely no one could have survived a blow like that. But, what? Hikari is just as bewildered as I am. The dark girl is nowhere to be seen. A single black feather drifts down from where she once stood. She just vanished. A sinister giggle echoes from the shadows. Did Yuzuki teleport? Or is she just so fast I couldn't keep up? Hikari bolts up at the sound and shoots Sayaka a frenzied look. Sayaka, look out! Huh? Something glimmers from out of the darkness behind her and then lashes out with a vicious swing. Sayaka just barely reacts in time, jumping to avoid the fatal slash. At least, I thought she had avoided it. I mean, I guess she did avoid it. Kind of. A little bit. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah! There's a sudden burst, and Sayaka lets out a shriek. She herself looks unharmed, but a good portion of her outfit is in tatters. Fragments of what used to be her outfit rain down from above. Well, and truly diced by the mad girl's scythe. I mean, it's horrible. There's hardly anything left of her outfit. From where I'm standing, I can practically see. Huh? I lost track of what I was thinking about there. Sorry. Ahem. Fight. Bad. Damage. Terrible. Okay, I'm back on track. This is insane. If she had reacted just a fraction of a second slower, her outfit wouldn't have been the only thing cut into ribbons by that attack. I thought Yuzuki seemed bad before, but if anything, tonight she seems even stronger. Or is it just all in my head? The pair learned from their mistakes the previous night and devised something almost resembling teamwork tonight to try and put an end to her. But she hits back twice as hard anyway. Sayaka and Hikari have given it their all, and this monster still has the upper hand. I wonder if they have any tricks left. I suppose I should put more faith in my guardian angels, even if things look dire right now. They're surely trained for these kinds of intense battles, and must have at least something to fall back on. Something that I hope doesn't involve flying again. I really, really don't want to fly again. At this point, I'll take my chances with Yuzuki. Sayaka hugs herself in an effort to cover up, her face flushed with embarrassment. I can't imagine this being convenient at all during a fight, especially not one as serious as this. I feel like I shouldn't be watching this, but this is an important fight I can't afford to take my eyes off of, or something like that. Ah, this is terrible. I I can't fight like this. Oh, what do I do? With what should be a fairly troubling scene for her partner, Hikari actually seems more annoyed than anything as she rushes over. Come on, stop screwing around. She stomps her foot and scolds her half-naked partner. That seems like a rather bizarre way to treat someone in such a state. You know damn well you can just regenerate your outfit. Eh? She can? So why has she been acting like this, like she has? Ah? This is so, but... Huh? Oh, right. There's another flash and her outfit is restored to what it once was. Huh. Really, it really was that easy. Eh, my bad. I totally forgot. Hikari hoists her sword up onto her shoulder and lets out a sigh. A dangerous vein just faintly visible on her forehead. You know, for some twisted reason, I think part of you wanted to show off. Maybe to a certain somebody. Me? Never! Though, you're sure one to talk, accidentally leaving the door unlocked. Bonk. Hikari wraps her on the... What? How does this make any sense? Moving on. What is even... Ow! I was kidding! Guys, aren't you forgetting something? I mean, it's not like you were in the middle of fighting or anything. Wait, that's a point. Yuzuki could have torn these two up while they were arguing. Where did she go after that attack? As if suddenly realizing this fact as well, both the girls jump into serious mode, if that's even really possible, and assume offensive stances once more. Did you catch where she went to? Uh, why did I even ask? I'm beginning to grow uneasy. I instinctively throw a glance over my shoulder, only to be met with a maniacal smile. Boo. You! She's right behind me. How did she manage that? Then again, I guess it probably wasn't that difficult a feat with how distracted my supposed guardians can get. I stumble backwards with a gasp, just narrowly avoiding her outstretched grasp as she reaches for me with a limp. Kenta! Ah, damn it. I was so close as well. The dark girl winces as her shoulders sink. It seems like she barely uh, any she see it seems like she has barely any strength left, as she just barely keeps a hold of her scythe, limply at her side. Maybe the combined attack before was more effective than I thought, and it finally all caught up to her. Her energy reserves well and truly spent. This was probably her last-ditch attempt to get me. I'm lucky I turned around when I did. She gives me a narrowed glare as she staggers back a few steps. My bodyguard's catching up to me. Amber eyes full of hatred. She shifts her gaze to Sayaka and Hikari. Looks like it's my turn to retreat for the night. Don't think you've won anything just yet. You got lucky with that cheap shot, but don't expect it to work a second time. Kenta will be mine. But don't worry, I'm not cruel enough to part ways without leaving you something to play with. Until we meet again. She begins to sink back into the shadows, giving off another devious laugh despite her limping retreat. That last part of what she said worries me. Something to play with? Like hell you're going anywhere. We're going to finish this right here and now. Hikari, maybe we should be... Hikari disregards her partner's advice and blazes forward, sword at the ready. It seems like her blade is just about to connect with Yuzuki before she can make her escape. But something suddenly whips out as if appearing out of nowhere and takes Hikari off of her feet, hoisting her high into the air. A thick, slimy appendage. A tentacle? Oh my gosh. Hikari drops her sword after being blindsided by the beast, and is left wrestling helplessly against the writhing tendrils as they work to ensnare her. Wah! Hey, no! Let me go! I see her hands giving off a glow. That's right. If she doesn't have a weapon, she still has her magic. She should be able to make quick work of this thing, sword or not. Now I'll show you, huh? Or maybe not. The beast is one step ahead of her, and works to bind her hands, leaving her well and truly helpless. The tentacles creep in even closer, oozing a pungent of substance that coats a good majority of her. Ugh, this is so disgusting. I don't think all the showers in the world are going to be able to get this stuff out of my hair. What is that word? She bemoans her what the fuck? I don't even know that word. Discussing predicament as she thrashes around, ultimately only resulting in the tentacles constricting tighter against her. Okay, so she can't save herself, but her trusty partner should be able to pierce the tentacles with a well-placed arrow, right? Right? But bad doggies! Sit! Down! Stay! What? When did they show up? Sayaka is surrounded by a pack of those demonic dogs from before. The ones that nearly took my life. They must have charged in at the same time as the tentacle creature made itself known. Where they oh, scared. Where they summon Were they summoned by Yuzuki, I wonder? Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you guys put a like, subscribe, ding on the bell notification icon, and I'll see all you guys on the next one. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna leave, and we're gonna end the video.